Tonight on Eagle Angle, we take a look at the MLK March where we interviewed a spokesman in his fraternity.
We take a look at what is to come in Cabaret 2019.
We also take a look at the controversial issue that took place on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial. All of this tonight on Eagle Angle. Hello and welcome to Eagle Angle. I'm Kate Rampy.
And I'm Mandolyn Skipworth. Eagle Angle is a student-produced newscast live from the campus of Oklahoma Christian University.
The Oklahoma Christian Music Department will be hosting its annual cabaret on February 12th through the 16th. This is what cabaret members Alex Edwards and Caden Dukes had to say on their upcoming performance.
This year's cabaret theme is A Taste of Broadway. We're performing a selection of songs including but not limited to Broadway tunes. We're also including some other more pop tunes, including Sing 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 from the 1940s era, a vocalized version of that, and also a vocalized version and a chorale version of Don't Stop Believin' by Journey. My major hope for anyone who comes to watch cabaret is just a good evening. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a high-energy evening. There's going to be a lot of really good music, really good visual choreography, and just overall, it should be a fun time.
The thing I like most, I think, is that the cabaret has so many different types of songs. We have two songs that have some really difficult choreography. I think the audience will really enjoy it. Those are Sing 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 and Slap That Bass. And we just get really jazzy and we move a lot. It's pretty exhausting during the rehearsals, but it's going to be really, really cool when we get it underneath the lights. The rehearsals last about 3 hours each, and that's about 5 days a week. This last Tuesday we had an 8-hour marathon. But other than that, we all spend time outside of rehearsal, checking our steps and making sure we get everything right, going in here, playing the piano, practicing our notes and things. So we've spent a lot of time on this.
This year's performance is promised to be a taste of Broadway, featuring songs from Hamilton and The Greatest Showman, performed by the Cabaret Singers and the Oklahoma Christian Jazz Band. The program will include music from other classics like Luck Be a Lady Tonight from Guys and Dolls and the Journey hit Don't Stop Believing. Again, Cabaret will run from February 12th through the 16th with show times at 7:30 each night. Tickets are $12 a person and are available for purchase at oc.edu/cabaret or at the OC box office, which is open Monday through Friday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m.
Attention all graduating students and family members. The dates and times for this year's spring graduation ceremonies are here. The ceremony will be held in the Payne Athletic Center gym on the 26th of April. There will be one ceremony held in the morning at 10:30 a.m. for liberal arts, natural science, and health science students, followed by a second ceremony at 2:30 p.m. for honors, biblical studies, business administration, engineering, and computer science students. Congratulations to all graduating students. You're all almost there.
U Dining has decided, after getting student feedback, to change their morning and lunch hours on the weekend. They will no longer be serving a traditional breakfast on Saturday mornings. The new hours will include a brunch time, with the CAF opening at 10 a.m. and closing at 1:30. Dinner times will be remaining the same.
If you need another musical event to hold you over until Cabaret 2019, you're just in luck. The OC Jazz Band will be playing in the Brew on February the 5th with saxophonist Derek Brown. Brown recently released an album entitled 50/50 and used to be the Director of Jazz Studies at Abilene Christian University. The event will be hosted by the Brew at 10 p.m. and will be open to the public.
Oklahoma City celebrated Martin Luther King Jr. Day on Monday with its annual parade downtown. For more, we go to Becca Kashorek.
Hundreds lined up in downtown Oklahoma City for the Martin Luther King Jr. Parade to honor the civil rights leader in his strides towards racial equality in the United States. Many significant groups marched in the parade, including the Oklahoma Democratic Party, the Oklahoma City Black Firefighters Association, and Miss Black of UCO. Martin Luther King Jr. was a member of the fraternity Alpha Phi Alpha during his time at Boston University. The fraternity marched in the parade proudly to commemorate Dr. King's legacy.
This parade is actually for one of our brothers, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He was a part of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, and I think it's very vital and important to continue to show our presence as he did across this great United States and even across the world. So I think our continued interest and work in the community, even here in Oklahoma, is very valuable, especially for a day like this on one of our brothers who was in our fraternity.
People in the crowd shared with me the importance the parade has for them and the community of Oklahoma City.
I got the privilege of coming last year for the first time, and just seeing the community all come around, like people from different walks of lives and just different backgrounds, and all here to celebrate unity and community building. It's what the city's made for. It's what we're here to do, and it's just a great example of all of that.
Oh, well, it's about Martin Luther King and the history that Martin Luther King left us. Big shoes for all of us to try to make this world a better world.
For more on the parade, go to okcmlk.org. Reporting for Eagle Angle, this is Becca Kashorek.
This concludes your local news. Now on to news from around the world. 32 days into the government shutdown, there seems to be no end in sight. We go to Karen Kafa for more.
House and Senate leaders pushing legislation to reopen the government. Neither bill likely to get it done.
We want the Republicans to take yes for an answer for bills that they have led the way on and negotiated in order to open up government.
Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell moving a version of President Trump's weekend proposal that includes $5.7 billion for the border wall and 3 years of protection for 700,000 undocumented immigrants who arrived in the U.S. as children, an extension of the Obama-era DACA program Trump seeks to end.
To reject this proposal, Democrats would have to prioritize political combat with the president ahead of federal workers, ahead of DACA recipients, ahead of border security.
But Democrats have deemed it a non-starter. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi plans to move a package of bills to reopen most shuttered federal agencies, plus $1 billion in border security funding, but not the president's wall. 5 weeks in, many of the 800,000 government employees caught in the middle face tough financial choices, like Francis Nichols, a pretrial services officer working without pay.
I haven't had a full tank of gas since probably the shutdown. I've been putting in only what I need to make sure that I can have food.
Federal workers are slated to miss another paycheck on Friday. In Washington, I'm Karen Kafa.
With presidential elections on the horizon in 2020, the Democrats are off to an interesting start by apologizing. Jeff Zeleny has more.
Before presidential candidates say I'm running, this year they're saying I'm sorry.
I haven't always been right.
I was wrong to feel that way.
I apologize.
Democrats eyeing the White House are delivering one mea culpa after another, scrambling to align their positions with the party's shift to the left. Joe Biden is the latest to join the apology tour, now saying he regrets that the 1994 crime bill led to an era of mass incarceration through vastly tougher sentencing laws for those selling crack cocaine.
It was a big mistake when it was made, but it's trapped an entire generation.
But 25 years ago, Biden not only voted for the bill, he was right here in the Rose Garden as President Clinton signed the new law. And until recently, Biden has proudly taken ownership.
I wrote the Biden crime bill, the thing to put 100,000 cops in the street.
Meanwhile, Kirsten Gillibrand has been trying to explain her dramatic political shift from a moderate Democratic congresswoman from upstate New York to a liberal senator. She once described herself as a firm opponent for giving amnesty to illegal aliens. She also said English should be the official language of the United States.
They certainly weren't empathetic and they were not kind, and I did not think about suffering in other people's lives.
While cleanups are common in presidential races,
I'm sorry for the consequences that were unintended and that have had a very unfortunate impact on people's lives.
This year's string of confessionals is coming earlier than usual, as candidates try to clarify their views before hitting the campaign trail. Hillary Clinton's often tortured apologies.
I take responsibility. What I did was legally permitted. Number one, first and foremost, okay?
Offer a case study for 2020 and a lesson that an apology must be seen as authentic to be accepted. Democrats do not have the luxury of holding firm like President Trump, who famously almost never expresses regret.
I may stand before you in 6 months and say, hey, I was wrong. I don't know that I'll ever admit that, but I'll find some kind of an excuse.
Before Bernie Sanders decides whether to run again, he is apologizing for sexual harassment of female staffers inside his 2016 campaign.
To the women in our campaign who were harassed or mistreated, I apologize.
And Tulsi Gabbard is expressing regret for what she now calls offensive comments about same-sex marriage.
I sincerely repeat my apology today. I'm deeply sorry for having said them.
While Kamala Harris is stopping well short of apologizing, she's defending her record as a prosecutor that some activists see as being pro-law enforcement at the expense of civil rights.
The buck stops with me, and I take full responsibility for what my office did.
But it's Biden's new apologies that raise questions about how many more times he may have to say I'm sorry.
Did you swear to tell the whole truth?
Considering his long Senate record, including controversial moments like Anita Hill's testimony at the Clarence Thomas confirmation hearings.
I am so sorry that she had to go through what she went through.
Paul Whelan, a former U.S. Marine, was detained in Moscow at the end of December on suspicion of being a spy. On Tuesday, the lawyer for Whelan said that his client was given a flash drive that contained Russian state secrets, though he did not know what was on the flash drive. Whelan also made his first public appearance in court since his arrest, where the judge ordered him to be kept behind bars at least until the end of February. Paul's twin brother David Whelan said that the family was disappointed but hardly surprised at the denial of bail. While the rest of his family insists he was entrapped there only to attend a wedding, David Whelan also said that Russian authorities did not allow British diplomats to visit his brother in prison, and the U.S. consular's cancellation did raise concern. He did note that Canadian diplomats were scheduled to visit on Thursday.
In a 5-4 decision Tuesday, the Supreme Court decided to let the transgender military ban go into effect. Camila Bernal has more on the topic.
the Supreme Court allowing President Donald Trump's transgender military ban to go into effect. The 5-4 decision was not based on the merits of the case, but instead will allow the ban to go forward while the lower courts decide. The policy was first announced by the president via Twitter in 2017.
Right now, we have people who cannot serve in the military with asthma or with flat feet. So why would we allow individuals to come in, although they're very patriotic and we appreciate their desire to serve, but who have these medical issues that could be very, very costly?
At the time, LGBTQ activists protested.
Trans people serve. Twitler did it.
The policy focuses on a condition known as gender dysphoria, which is a conflict between a person's assigned sex and the gender they identify with. Most people diagnosed with the condition wouldn't be allowed to serve. Those without the condition can serve, but only if they do so according to the sex they were assigned at birth.
Implementing a ban again will not stop Americans from wanting to serve their country, and some of those Americans happen to be transgender.
After the court announced its decision, the Pentagon clarified its policy is not a ban on all transgender people and said they treat all transgender persons with respect and dignity. In Washington, I'm Camila Bernal reporting.
On Friday, the 18th of January, the internet caught fire over this single image. The two in the photo are Nick Sandman, a student of Covington Catholic High School, and a member of the Omaha tribe, and Vietnam War-era veteran Nathan Phillips. In the original video clip, you can see what appears to be the students of the Catholic school surrounding Phillips and mocking his chant. Sandman stood smiling at Phillips, thus creating the image that took the internet by storm. This video was also shared and broadcast by almost all prominent news sources. Phillips had an interview with the MSNBC where he claimed the initial group was only 6 students, and as they left and returned, their group became larger. He also said that the students surrounded these black guys. The group that Phillips was referring to was another protest group, the Black Israelites. This caused an outrage among people on the right and left, calling the act of the students disgraceful, racist, and hateful. In the following days, a new video surfaced, recorded by the Black Israelites, that shows a different story than the news outlets shared. The new video shows the Black Israelites and Native Americans were already heated with each other before the students arrived. After this, the rhetoric began to escalate toward the students when the Black Israelites started calling the students homophobic slurs, incest babies, dusty crackers, and future school shooters. After about 20 minutes of this, the students, according to Sandman, asked the teachers if they could combat the hate with their school chants. Tensions continued to escalate until Phillips approached the students, playing his drum and saying his prayer. This video contradicts the statements that he made to MSNBC, where he said that the students surrounded him and blocked his way to the Lincoln Memorial. With this new information, it becomes hard to say who is at fault for the situation. However, lines were already drawn. Those who are against the kids have taken to doxing the minors, revealing their identities, which lead them to receiving threats of violence. Covington had to shut down school and cancel a basketball game due to threats of a bombing. Also, another minor was caught in the crosshairs for looking like Sandman and received threats as well. This situation shows the importance of journalists and the public waiting for the full story before coming to a conclusion.
This concludes your national news segment. Up next, Jonathan Cleverton has your full weather report. Stay with us.
I understand. I know it's not your typical resume.
Okay, well...
But... candidate. But I've been working double shifts just to pay for books. I've been raising my 2 little brothers. I'm determined, driven, motivated. Isn't that what you're looking for?
Look beyond the resume and discover new ways to develop great talent at gradsoflife.org.
Please have a seat. I'll be honest. Your resume is not what I'm used to.
I know.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need a hard worker.
Good. I've got 2 part-time jobs and to help my parents pay the bills.
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find, cultivate, and train a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
Jonathan Cleverton joins us here in the studio. John, what kind of weather can we expect this week?
Well, we can expect some cold weather, but let's take a look at what it is outside right now. It is 44 degrees outside right now, but it's sunny, so that's kind of nice because we can see the sun. But it feels like 40, so it's kind of cold, but, it's still, still kind of nice to be outside, and it's not cloudy. Let's take a look at what is across the state. Across the state, 49 in Guymon, 43 in OKC, 43 in Durant, 52 in Altus, 32 in Miami. So a broad range of temperatures across the state of Oklahoma. Typical, January day for, this time of year, and it's kind of cold. So make sure you have a sweater on. Tonight, let's take a look at what it's going to be like tonight. Tonight, it's going to drop to 28 degrees, below freezing. So make sure you have an ice scraper ready in the morning because it will be frozen on your car. Winds will be coming from the southwest, 6 miles per hour, with a humidity of 63%. So be prepared for this kind of weather. Don't go out late because you will freeze. Let's take a look at the weekend weather highlights. The weekend weather, colder towards the beginning. So Thursday, Friday, and part of Saturday will be colder. So be prepared for that. There'll be partial cloudy, as it says, cloudy throughout Saturday. But however, on Sunday, the sun will pop out and it will be temperatures up to the upper 50s. So we can look forward to that for the weekend. But let's take a look at the 5-day forecast. 5-day forecast, Thursday, high of 42 with a low of 19. So it's definitely going to drop tomorrow as it's cloudy. Temperatures will rise back up to 43 with a low of 30. The clouds will stay from Friday through Saturday, as I said. But temperatures will raise up to 52 with a low of 35. Sunday, the sun's popping out. Be a high of 58, so make sure you get outside and enjoy that. Play Frisbee or walk your dog if you have one, with a low of 43. But then the clouds are going to come back on Monday, partly cloudy with some wind, so make sure you have a jacket on, with a high of 49 and a low of 23. So we got a lot of clouds coming, some sun, some cold, but some warm. So that's all I got. Let's look forward to it.
Thank you, John. Coming up, we've got Brennan Spear with the full scoop in entertainment.
Stay tuned.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, read your lease. No pets allowed. My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
Welcome to the Entertainment Corner. I'm your host, Brennan Spear. Starting us off this week, the Oscar nominations have been released. This year we'll be seeing some big names such as Black Panther and A Star is Born for Best Picture, Christian Bale and Bradley Cooper for Best Actor, Avengers Infinity War and Solo: A Star Wars Story for Best Visual Effects, plus many more nominations and categories. The Oscars will be held on February 24th, so mark your calendars and see if your favorite movies and actors win any awards. Now, ex-Fiverr star VoiceOver Pete recently came out with some heavy information regarding Fiverr. For those that don't know, Fiverr is a website that lets you get on and hire people online to do a random assortment of things ranging from making original music, videos, or in Pete's case, voiceovers. VoiceOver Pete was one of Fiverr's most popular creators when suddenly he was banned at the beginning of November 2018. He was banned for supposed credit card scams such as this.
Night gamers, John Wick is in great danger and he needs your help to wipe out the squads in the Tilted Towers. But to do this, he needs Golden Scar and a couple of Chug Jugs. To help him, all he needs is your credit card number, the 3 digits on the back, and the expiration month and year. But you gotta be quick so that John Wick can secure the bag and achieve the epic victory royal.
Pete says that this is obviously satirical and not an actual scam, and that he was in constant contact with the Fiverr team and that they had never complained about his videos. Pete had been in contact with his success manager, who said that he loved what he was putting out and shared it with other people in Fiverr. Pete had been one of Fiverr's spokesmen for over 2 years prior to his ban. Fiverr has not responded to Pete, as he has tried to reach out to them multiple times over the past several months, and they still owe him thousands of dollars from completed orders that he had done on the platform. Here is Pete's warning to all creators on platforms like Fiverr, YouTube, and Twitch.
Kind of makes me scared, because if it could happen to me, it could happen to anyone, to you or your even favorite YouTubers on YouTube. Look, it's a scary place to be if you have your livelihood depending on these big corporations. Fiverr's going to go with their public stock offering later this year. The IPO will bring them, I bet, well over $1 billion overnight. So what if some other multi-billion-dollar company doesn't like what you've said? Well, could my channel get shut down because of that? Yeah, I don't know, sure. Could some other favorite YouTuber of yours have that? It's possible.
Netflix is currently under fire, but not for what you might expect. It isn't over their price increase or the popular Bird Box challenge that erupted from their movie Bird Box, but is actually from a scene in Bird Box. In the movie, when everything is going horrible, there's footage of a train wreck with a giant explosion. Now, the reason this is an issue is because it is actual footage from a train from 2013 that exploded while carrying crude oil, killing 47 people. Now, it seems that the top Twitch streamer Ninja has been passed in subscribers. Ninja reportedly had 200,000 subscribers March of last year, but has now been passed by another Fortnite streamer. Streamer Tfue has around 54,000 subscribers, while Ninja is only at 52,000. Some people try to pit these two against each other and make it sound like they hate each other, but here's what Tfue had to say.
All right, the first frame, we have young, beautiful Ninja, aka Tyler, a boy, you know. I have nothing but good things to say about Ninja. Tyler, he's a good friend of mine. A lot of people like to, throw hate on him, which doesn't make any sense because he's a legend. What he's done for Fortnite and esports and just gaming as a whole, it's honestly, he's done so much. So I have nothing but respect and good things to say about Ninja.
That's all I've got for entertainment this week. Let's head back to the desk with Kate.
Thank you, Brennan. We got Jenny Rigney here with your Eagle Angle Sports Report.
On Tuesday, OC Lady Eagles swim team was awarded the Scholar for America Team Recognition Award from the College Swimming and Diving Coaches Association for America. The award is given to teams who post a cumulative GPA of 3.0 or higher for the fall semester and have 12 or more student athletes. The OC women's team had an overall GPA of 3.18. The Oklahoma Christian men and women's track teams participated in the Rumble in the Jungle indoor track meet at Pittsburgh State in Kansas to open their spring season. Junior Kelton Reynolds won the 3,000-meter race with a personal best of time of 8 minutes, 49 seconds, and 58/10 of a second. The men's team finished fourth among 7 teams. Junior LaWanda Harvey posted a runner-up finish in the 60 meters. The women's team finished sixth amongst 8 teams. Both men and women's track teams' next meet will be on January 26 at the Central Oklahoma Invitational at the University of Oklahoma. On Thursday, the men's basketball team struggled on offense, and it led to a tough loss after Texas A&M International came back from a 15-point deficit to defeat the Eagles 58-53. Eagles were 9 for 19 from the free throw line and 4 for 22 from the three-point range. But on Saturday, the Eagles improved their shooting, which allowed them to bounce back and defeat St. Mary's 85-69. OC's had 5 players score in double digits, and it led by Aubrey Johnson with 22 points and Marcus Blackwell with 18. On Thursday, the Lady Eagles played Texas A&M International at home and won in dominating fashion with a final score of 105-50. The Lady Eagles shot for 53% and out-rebounded the Dust Devils 53-36. Then, on Saturday, the Lady Eagles had a similar outcome, defeating St. Mary's Rattlers 104-53. This was the first time since 1995 the Lady Eagles have had 2 consecutive 100-point games. And for both games, the Lady Eagles were led by their standout Addie Clift, who has had yet again another record-setting season. On Thursday, after scoring 26 points and going 7 for 13 from the field, Clift became the Heartland Conference's all-time career scoring leader, breaking the previous record of 1,778 points. On Saturday, she continued her record-breaking streak by breaking another school
and conference record by scoring 45 points, setting the single game record that she had previously set. Addie Cliff's impressive week was enough to not only be named Heartland Conference Player of the Week, she was also named NCAA Division II National Player of the Week by U.S. Basketball Writers Association. Cliff's name rose above nominees from all 24 conferences in Division II. Now she has a career total of 1,838 points and is in range of becoming only the 5th OC women's player to score 2,000 points. And this has been your Eagle Angle Sports Report. We'll be right back after these short messages.
I understand. I know it's not your typical resume.
Okay, well...
But... candidate. But I've been working double shifts just to pay for books. I've been raising my 2 little brothers. I'm determined, driven, motivated. Isn't that what you're looking for?
Look beyond the resume and discover new ways to develop great talent at gradsoflife.org.
Thank you for watching Eagle Angle, where it's your campus,
your news.